It was the kind of house people dream about, a vision of domestic bliss, a place where memories are made and families grow, a place you drive past and say, someday that will be mine, a symbol of achievement, a haven from the world, a testament to hard work and dedication. For Derek and Maria Broaddus, that someday arrived in June 2014. After years of saving and planning, their dream was finally within reach. 657 Boulevard in Westfield, New Jersey, a prestigious address in a sought-after community. It was more than just bricks and mortar. It was a promise of a perfect life for their 3 children, a place where they could build a future filled with love, laughter, and security. 6 bedrooms offering ample space for everyone to grow and thrive. A sprawling yard, perfect for summer barbecues and endless games of tag. A place where childhood memories would be forged. And a safe, idyllic town, a place where neighbors knew each other and looked out for one another. A true sense of community. Everything pointed to a bright future, a life filled with happiness and contentment. It was the American dream realized. The Broaddus family poured their hopes and savings into this home, investing not just money but their hearts and souls. Picturing laughter and memories in every room, envisioning a lifetime of joy within those walls. Westfield felt like a postcard from a simpler time, a place where life moved at a slower pace and values were cherished. Neighbors waved with genuine warmth, welcoming them into the fold. Kids rode bikes freely, their laughter echoing through the streets. And safety was a given, a comforting blanket that enveloped the community. As renovations began, excitement filled the air, the promise of a fresh start hanging heavy. The previous owners, the Woods family, had lived there for decades without incident, adding to the sense of security and peace of mind. The children picked out bedrooms, their imaginations running wild with possibilities. Derek and Maria planned family gatherings, envisioning holidays and milestones celebrated within those walls, and the dream felt real, tangible, within their grasp. But sometimes, dreams curdle, turning into something unrecognizable and terrifying. Beneath the postcard image, something dark was already watching, lurking in the shadows, waiting to strike. The idyllic life they planned was about to be shattered, their hopes and dreams reduced to fragments. All it took was a few simple words in a plain white envelope, an unassuming harbinger of chaos. The dream was about to become a nightmare, a descent into fear and paranoia. And the Broaddus family had no idea what was coming, the darkness that was about to engulf their perfect world. 3 days after closing, the reality of homeownership began to sink in. The excitement of a new chapter was still fresh, but so were the responsibilities. Derek, eager to check for any pending bills or welcome packages, made his way to the mailbox. He reached inside, his fingers brushing against something unexpected, a crisp white envelope. The envelope was clean, devoid of any return address, and addressed simply to the new owner. There was something unsettling about its anonymity. Expecting a welcome note from a neighbor, or perhaps a promotional offer, he opened it with a sense of anticipation. He carefully tore along the top edge, eager to see what awaited him inside. But instead of a friendly greeting, he found something chilling, something that would shatter their dreams of suburban bliss. The letter's author claimed a generational connection to the house, a history far older and more sinister than they could have imagined. "My grandfather watched the house in the 1920s, the letter declared, a chilling statement of long-term obsession. "My father in the 1960s, the letter continued, revealing a disturbing family legacy. "It is now my time." The words echoed with a sense of inevitability, a passing of the torch of some twisted ritual. Signed, simply, The Watcher. A name that would forever haunt their waking hours. The writer knew intimate details about the family, details that suggested a presence far too close for comfort. The Broaddus family had children, their names, their ages, their very essence seemed to be known by this unseen observer. The letter chillingly asked if they'd found what was in the walls yet, hinting at secrets hidden within the very structure of their new home. The letter's tone abruptly shifted from neighborly curiosity to outright menacing, a veiled threat lurking beneath the surface. It chillingly referred to the children as young blood the house craved, turning their innocent presence into something sinister. "Who am I?" the letter taunted, a cruel game of cat and mouse designed to instill maximum fear. "I am the Watcher and have been in control of 657 Boulevard for decades. the letter declared, staking claim to their home and their lives. Derek's blood ran cold, a wave of dread washing over him as the true horror of the situation began to dawn. This wasn't a prank, it was personal, a targeted attack designed to unsettle and terrify. Every creak in the house became a threat, every sound amplified by the paranoia the letter had ignited. Every shadow a watcher, lurking just beyond the periphery, observing their every move. Derek immediately contacted the police, desperate for answers and protection, but there was no explicit threat that constituted a crime. Just psychological terror, a slow burn designed to drive them to the edge. The letter was a ghost, an unwelcome specter haunting their new home. A violation of their privacy and peace of mind before they'd even fully moved in, a chilling omen of things to come. The dream home was already tainted, its promise of happiness overshadowed by a growing sense of dread. The question haunted them, a constant nagging presence in the back of their minds. Who was watching them, and from where? And why were they being targeted? What was the motive behind this campaign of fear? The Broaddus family's sanctuary had become a stage for an unseen audience, their lives playing out under the watchful eyes of a stranger. The nightmare had begun, and there was no telling how far it would go. The first letter was only the beginning, a mere glimpse into the unsettling reality that awaited the Broaddus family. It was an invitation to a nightmare, penned with chilling precision. Police urged secrecy, understanding the delicate nature of the situation and the potential for widespread panic. They advised Derek and Maria to keep the letters confidential, hoping to contain the situation and prevent further escalation. So Derek and Maria, grappling with mounting fear and uncertainty, carried their terror alone. They were isolated, burdened by a secret that threatened to consume them. The weight of their silence was almost unbearable. Renovations halted. The dream of transforming the house into their perfect home faded as fear took over. The hammers and saws fell silent, replaced by an unsettling quiet. Moving in was unthinkable, the boxes remained sealed, the furniture untouched. The house, once a symbol of hope and new beginnings, now stood as a chilling reminder of the unknown threat that loomed over them. 2 weeks later, the anxiety continued to build. A second letter arrived, more disturbing than the first. It was a calculated escalation, a deepening of the psychological torment. The Watcher was tightening their grip. The Watcher now knew their surname, a chilling confirmation that their privacy had been completely violated. The anonymity they once enjoyed was gone, replaced by the unsettling feeling of being constantly observed. Their children's names, turning the idyllic image of family life into a terrifying vulnerability. The innocence of childhood was now tainted by the sinister presence of the Watcher. Even their birth order, this intimate knowledge was a deliberate act, designed to instill maximum fear and demonstrate the extent of the Watcher's surveillance. The author described seeing their daughter painting on the porch, a detail only a close observer could know. It was a blatant display of power, a chilling reminder that they were under constant scrutiny. The Watcher's tone grew possessive. The house is crying from the pain it is going through. You have changed it and made it so fancy. The Watcher seemed to resent the family's attempts to modernize the house, viewing it as a betrayal of its history. The Broaddus family felt like intruders in their own home, unwelcome guests in a place that was supposed to be their sanctuary. A third letter soon followed, each one a calculated blow to their peace of mind, each one deepening the sense of dread. "Where have you gone to? 657 Boulevard is missing you." The house itself became a character in this twisted narrative, a silent witness to the family's torment. The family stopped bringing their children to the house, unable to bear the thought of exposing them to the unknown danger that lurked within its walls. The Watcher noticed their absence, and the letters became more frequent, more menacing, a constant reminder that they were never truly alone. The letters were psychological warfare, a deliberate campaign of intimidation designed to break their spirits and drive them away, designed to isolate and terrify. The Watcher's goal was clear, to make their lives a living hell, to strip them of their sense of security and belonging. The Broaddus family owned a house they could never inhabit, a cruel twist of fate that turned their dreams into a nightmare. Their dream home had become a source of trauma, a constant reminder of the fear and uncertainty that had consumed their lives. The Watcher was everywhere and nowhere, a phantom presence that haunted their every thought and action, an omniscient narrator to their private horror, turning their lives into a chilling real-life thriller with no escape. The most terrifying part of the Watcher's letters was the obsession with the Broadus children, the young blood. The Watcher asked, "Will the young blood play in the basement, or are they too afraid?" The writer claimed to know the children by name, tracking their movements. "I am pleased to know your names now, and the name of the young blood you have brought to me," one letter read. The family imagined a stranger nearby counting their children as they played. The safety of their own backyard was gone. The Watcher threatened, "Once I know their names, I will call to them and draw them to me." The Broadus family could never move in. Every moment of joy became one of dread. Security measures became their new normal. Contractors were warned, and the children were shielded from the truth. The Watcher had turned their greatest happiness into their greatest fear. 657 Boulevard was no longer a home. It was a hunting ground. With police stumped, Derek and Maria began their own investigation. Every neighbor became a suspect. Who could see the porch? Who knew the house's history? Trust in the community was shattered. They scrutinized every odd look, every comment, and even hired a private investigator. The Woods family, who'd received a single odd letter before moving out, were questioned. DNA analysis on the envelopes led nowhere. The Watcher remained a ghost, and the neighborhood became a landscape of suspicion and fear. Surrounded by people, the Broadus family had never felt more alone. The official investigation struggled from the start. No direct threats, no clear suspect. The Broadus family set up cameras, researched the house's history, and chased every lead. DNA evidence pointed to a woman, but no match was found. Theories ranged from a disgruntled neighbor to a former housekeeper. Even the Broadus family themselves quickly cleared. Years passed, and the case grew cold. The Watcher had vanished, leaving only fear and unanswered questions. The system failed to deliver justice. The family was left with no peace and no closure. The psychological toll was devastating. Maria suffered nightmares and PTSD. Derek became obsessed with the mystery. Their marriage and finances strained under the weight of a house they could never live in. The Watcher hadn't just taken their home, they'd stolen their peace of mind. 657 Boulevard became a fortress of fear impossible to sell, tainted by its sinister history. Every potential sale fell through, trapping the family in limbo. Their sense of security was gone, trust in neighbors evaporated. The experience taught them that evil can exist anywhere and safety is often an illusion. The Broadus family was left to pick up the pieces, forever changed by a faceless phantom. The letters proved you don't need violence to hold a family hostage, just words, and the power to instill fear. Desperate to escape, the Broadus family tried everything to sell the house. The Watcher's notoriety made it infamous. Buyers were scared away. A lawsuit against the previous owners brought only more attention and failed. Even a plan to tear down the house and subdivide the lot was blocked by the town. Finally, in 2019, they sold the house at a significant loss. The new owners, Andrew and Allison Carr, took over, but the mystery remained. The sale ended a painful chapter but brought no closure. The Broadus family had to let go of their dream to escape the nightmare. 657 Boulevard's story lingers, a cautionary tale whispered on the quiet street. The Watcher's shadow remains. Years later, the question remains: who was the Watcher? Was it a jealous neighbor, a former resident, or someone playing a cruel game? Theories abound, but evidence is non-existent. The Broadus family story taps into our primal fear of being watched. The letters destroyed their peace, not with violence, but with suggestion and violation. Could it happen to anyone? That's the most chilling thought. 657 Boulevard stands as a monument to an unresolved mystery, a reminder that the most frightening monsters are the ones we never see. The Watcher may be gone, but the fear they created endures.